on our arrival to Swansea Metropolitan University, the degree already had Team V4 started as a project. We got involved, and we decided then to branch off on our own side and decided to go racing. So we bought our own race bike, we bought another VFR, and using the developments that had already been done prior to our arrival on the other two VFRs, which were again a student project, we used that to build our own race bike and go racing and look to learn about the dynamics and the engineering behind a racing motorcycle while actually going racing and using the data acquisition software.
As a team, we kind of thought there was a lot of benefit to be had from actually going racing and seeing the real world aspect of actually putting the bike together and taking it out and seeing what it could do, and networking aspects of things as well. You know, we've met a lot of people through racing, and we'll continue to meet more that hopefully we can forge strong relationships through into our working careers. So one of the reasons for going to do this test was obviously it's a newly built engine that we'd spent a lot of time through the start of the year getting up together. We bought some RVF 400 pistons and new rings to build the motor up with, because they're lighter weight than the standard VFRs and lower friction as well, and slightly higher compression. So we installed those into the bike. We've also done quite a bit of porting work to the heads on the bike. We fitted a new full race exhaust system, and also some new radiators. So there was a lot of changes that have been made since last year's bike that we just kind of really needed to see how it all ran together, and find any weak spots in order to fix them.
Prior to Llandow test, we went to CGS Racing in Bristol. Chris helped us sort out our fueling. We got it really good. We basically just went over the engine, get some power figures, and we got a base setting from which to work on. And on that, we went to Llandow with a good engine and good set of fueling. At Llandow, we struggled with the 2D setup. We got onto tracks nonetheless. Dynamically, the bike was really good. Not a lot was done for the suspension, but we just essentially got some good laps in and got some good engine time going.
We did find out actually on our return to the workshop what the issue with the 2D was. It was actually fairly simple. One of the connectors, one of the wires had come loose and was shorting out onto another wire inside that connector block, which had actually just made all the other sensors on the 2D system just read total nonsense. So we've managed to fix that now, so we should get some good data from the next test.
So after the Llandow test, we were fortunate to have a visit from Mike Norman of G-Force Engine Development. Mike is widely regarded as the world's best VFR 400 and RVF tuner. Spent years putting massive amounts of money into tuning these motors, and has seen huge amounts of results. And to have him come and visit and look at the work we're doing here was a truly unique opportunity. He gave us some really sound advice on our development path, as we sort of essentially tried to recreate some of the things that he's done, and in our pursuit of engine development and dynamics. And through that we found a few technical advice that he gave to us.
One of the things that he'd mentioned while he was here was that actually our fairing is, whilst it's quite a nice shape, it's fairly inefficient in terms of cooling. Obviously, it's a fairing off of an RS 250. The original VFR fairings are designed to fit around the standard radiators in a much better way, so that all the air that's coming in through the front is actually forced through the radiators, because it has no other path. You're creating a pressure difference between the front and the rear of the radiator. So on looking at a standard set of fairings and talking with Mike about this, we actually decided that what we would do is make up some carbon shrouds essentially to block off the route of the air through any other path but through the radiator, to increase the cooling essentially past the fins, to increase the air travel past the fins and increase the cooling efficiency of the radiators.
Next up for Team V4 Racing is the official Bentley test at Snetterton Racetrack in Norfolk. We'll be heading there with Francesco, who is of course our main rider, and we'll be essentially pitting ourselves against the competition this year, so it'll be good to see how we're doing that and how we find ourselves on a big racetrack like Snetterton. Thanks for listening.
See you next time.